So this is a 2008 Volvo VHD heavy spec cabin chassis. It has the Volvo D13 engine and a 10-speed transmission, 20,000 pound front axle capacity, 40,000 rear, spring suspension. This truck is fully detailed, freshly safetied, ready to sell. It actually, I just picked it up from the safety shop this morning and it already went on a test drive. It just came back. So I'll give you a little tour of this truck. These are really nice trucks, these Volvo VHDs. I love these. They're super heavy spec, and they're mixed with Volvo reliability, which is always good. So I'll point out a couple things about this truck. This has the 425 wide-based Bridgestone steer tires. We call them floaters sometimes. Just the really true heavy spec trucks will have that. This one has aluminum battery box cover, aluminum tanks on both sides. And this one has a battery master switch. So this is in the off position. That's the on position. You could actually put a padlock through there. That just prevents theft, and it stops your batteries from losing charge, you know, if you leave a light on or something like that. I think every truck should have that, honestly. So this truck, like, we didn't paint the frame. This is how it looked. It's in really good shape. It was not came out of the States, so it wasn't exposed to rust or anything like that. This truck has double frame, and there's an inner rail and an outer rail, which, you know, you need that for a heavy spec truck, especially if it's gonna have a crane or something mounted on it. And if they come from somewhere with lots of salt, they'll get rust between these rails and they'll start to split apart, and then that'll actually take the truck off the road. You won't be able to get it certified. This has 11R 22.5 drive tires. These are the tires that were on the truck. They were in really good shape. Last owner really took care of this truck. It has spring suspension, which is a little bit rougher, but on the, you know, the heavy spec trucks, a lot of them are going to have that. This truck's got about 24 feet of frame, so you could put a van body, a flat deck, about a 20-foot grain box if you wanted, or else you could put like a gravel box on it and just cut the frame rails back to right behind the axles, and you'd get away with like about a 18-foot gravel box. So there's lots that could be done with this truck. The guy that just test drove it wants to put a flat deck on it here and mount his crane at the back. So they would do a pintle hitch across the back to brace that up, and then put a crane cradle. I think this truck will be a good fit for that. This is the second fuel tank. This truck has spring suspension on the cab. Some trucks will have air ride, some will have spring, and some will have just like a solid mounting, and those trucks are pretty rough to drive, so I'll take the springs over that. There's the other 425. Yeah, so this truck has the Volvo D13 engine. I think they're like 330 to 400 or so horsepower. I'm not sure what this one's set at, but it's a good motor. We've had good luck with them. Had lots of them, actually. Okay, so what makes the VHD, the Volvo VHD, different from other trucks is this is a 12-inch tall frame rail. Lots of trucks are 10.5. So it's a true heavy spec 12-inch frame rail with inner and outer channel. And the other thing that makes them good for vocational use is your rad is mounted above your crank on purpose so that you can run a shaft through here, which you can mount to your crankshaft up there, and then you can mount a hydraulic pump on the front. And the reason why that's important, most trucks will have their PTO and hydraulics run off the transmission, but with a truck like this, you can run it off the front, and then you can have live hydraulics while you drive. So like plow trucks, garbage trucks, stuff like that will be set up that way. So these trucks are meant for that right from the factory. Okay, so we'll hop in here. This truck currently has a tranny mounted PTO, which you can engage if you want hydraulics. Got all your paint codes, axle capacities, everything in there. So this truck has a Webasto coolant heater. So you can program this to start, you know, say 7 a.m. every day. It runs off of diesel, and it'll actually heat your coolant up. So when you go to start your truck, say you start your truck at 7:30, if you had this set at 7, it would turn on, heat everything up, and then your truck would start really nice, you know, as if it had been plugged in all night. This is kind of nice if you're parking somewhere where you don't have power. You can't plug the truck in. It's a good alternative. They're pretty expensive to install, but worth every penny. So this truck has the power divider lock in the dash here. It's a 10-speed Eaton transmission. I have to get that cap there, that's missing. Looks like we got cup holder, stereo, passenger seat, some overhead storage, and let's fire it up. So what you want to do is wait for all your lights to go off. Some of these trucks have glow plugs. If your battery gauge, you know, you'll notice it's around 10 volts, and then when the glow plugs come off after a few seconds, it'll jump up to 12. This truck looks like 11.4 volts it's at right now, so it should be good to start. See, your voltage drops when you start the truck, and then it comes back up. This truck only has about 107,000 kilometers, which is about 60,000 miles. So it's a good low mileage truck. So we have the seatbelt light on because the seatbelt's not done up, the park brake light on because the brake is set, and I'm not sure why it says this stop light. Lots of trucks it'll say that if you're low on coolant or overheating or something. This truck, it just says that until it builds air pressure, and then that light goes out. So every truck's a little bit different. So somebody came and looked at that 2008 Volvo VHD. They took it for a test drive, took it to their friend's shop for a second opinion, and then they actually sent it to the Volvo dealership as well for, I guess, a third opinion, just to make sure everyone agreed that the truck was in good shape and was right for them. And he made an offer and bought the truck. He's honestly one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I'm really happy for this customer. This truck's gonna be perfect for him. He's coming to pick it up right away, so if I can get there in time, I'll take a video of it driving away, and that'll be that.